Hello, and welcome back. Today we're talking about business tangibles and intangibles. What does this actually mean? Well, one of the things I love to say when it comes to business is that business is more than just about the skill set or the checklist of things to do as an entrepreneur. We often think of business as this set of rules that if we follow, achieve and attain, then we have a business. However, in reality, the entrepreneurial journey and the business building journey requires so much more than just getting things ticked off a list. And we know this because so many businesses and so many entrepreneurs establish themselves and get started only to crumble and fall apart later down the line. Business intangibles and tangibles is a concept that I teach my clients that is a holistic and sustainable way to build business. And it's something that I have seen in the industry of business coaching and business programs is a massive gap that is not being fixed. And the reason why I began to notice the importance of the intangible work, the unseen work outside of the checklist and skills and structures of building a business, is because I saw so many of my clients coming to me wanting to create success, wanting to grow on their social media, to create more revenue in their business, and yet feeling extremely burnt out, unfulfilled, and misaligned to what they're building. And a lot of it came down to the way they were operating their business. So in order to really grasp this concept of tangible and intangibles in business, we have to look at it kind of like an iceberg. The iceberg has an above the water element and it has a below the water element. The above the water shows us all the things that are quite literally able to be done on a checklist. Things that are tangible. Things like what you need to do to get your offer created, what you need to do to market and sell and reach your ideal audience. It could be sales skills. It could be how to write landing pages and email sequences. It could be delivering a great product. It could be your entire product suite. Anything that is tangible and material in business, that is what is above the iceberg. Anything that is below the iceberg are the things that you do not see. These are things like resilience, self-belief, mindset work, inner work, money mindset, things that mostly are to do with the entrepreneur running or visioneering the business and the energy, the vibes of your business. And these are things that cannot be physically held and are also often really hard to quantify or check off on a list. So I'm going to go through more of what this looks like in specificity using the framework that I teach in my Business Without Hustle program of what these intangibles and tangibles are. But firstly, I'm going to tell you why you need to know this and what's going to happen if you don't build your business with these two elements in mind. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nicole, a life and business coach for high functioning women. I'm a self-proclaimed foodie, content creator, educator, and your new abundance bestie. In my world, we talk about all things to do with elevating your life. I post weekly videos helping the everyday woman embody her highest self, create inner wealth, master her mindset, unlock her femininity, and be an absolute boss in life. I create resources, trainings, and host experiences online and in person in order to help you reconnect to your true self. Not the one you think you need to be, but the you that you were born to be. So you can reclaim your power and amplify your voice to lead, love, and create as a woman. If you like my vibe and you want a little bit more abundance in your life, hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new episode. And be sure to check out the free resources in the description below. So the way I think of an abundant, balanced, well-functioning business is kind of like a water theme park. There is a structural element, a tangible element of the systems that allow the water to flow through the theme park. There are the rides, the slides, everything meticulously and carefully designed and engineered so that the water flow through the park is doing what it needs to do and that the water park can function. However, without the water, if you only had the structures, the slides, the plumbing, If you only had those things, then you don't have a water park. You need the water. Now, the water is essentially that flow. It's the energy that I use to explain the intangibles in business. And it's not just about having any water. It's high quality water. Imagine a theme park with like gross, icky, muddy, green water running through it. People are not going to want to go to this theme park. They're not going to enjoy the theme park, even if there is water going through the slides and the rides. So the quality of the water and the way that that water is flowing in and throughout the theme park also determines the success of this theme park. So I want you to think about the Wet n Wild, the Jamboree, whatever water theme parks you can think of, and imagine your business as that. And you want to start to use this as a framework to understand whether you have some work to do in cleaning up your business intangibles or your business tangibles. So what happens when you do not factor in these two elements? And again, it's about having the balance of the two, because if you work only on the business tangibles, which is what so many people do, you just build, and you don't work on what's happening inside of you, on your self-doubt, your worthiness issues, your money mindset, and that's just going to keep sabotaging your business growth. You're going to keep unconsciously holding yourself back, whether it's through sabotaging your own consultations and unconsciously managing your money in an unhealthy way, or feeling undeserving and undercharging everything that you're offering. These are the intangibles that are going to affect your tangibles. So just like that iceberg, it cannot exist without that lower half. And it's the growth of your business is always going to depend on the growth of your internal world. So back to the question, what happens when you don't build with these tangibles and intangibles in mind? Firstly, you're not going to have a sustainable business. And secondly, your business is not going to be scalable. So sustainability. Sustainability is about practices and processes that prioritize longevity. It's also about prioritizing the good of all, building your business and operating your entrepreneurial journey from a place that serves you, the people you're here to help, and the greater collective at hand. When your business does not have this healthy balance of tangibles and intangibles, you're often building in an unsustainable way, meaning it's probably burning you out to build your business the way you're doing it now. And it's also probably not the most helpful or in service or ethical thing. So a good example is like selling. A lot of people are taught sales skill sets, tangibles, in a way that is designed to convince and manipulate the client. And we use things like sales psychology or emotional intelligence, emotional manipulation, in a way that skews the agenda around having to get the sale, rather than understanding like what is the purpose of selling. When you understand your deep-rooted insufficiency, for example, feeling really lack around money and feeling constantly desperate for money, then you're going to be able to catch yourself when the way you're selling is being informed by that desperation and lack. I caught myself on this so many times, especially as a brand new entrepreneur, because I wasn't used to making money. And not only that, I needed my business and my revenue to validate my self-worth. And so I was deathly afraid of hearing a no on my consults, that I would do anything and everything I possibly could to convince somebody to say yes, rather than actually learning sales from a place of service. And that's why I teach sales the way that I do now. I don't teach sales from a lens of sales scripts and what you have to do and do's and don'ts and sort of things that are very rigid and done for you, because I believe that sales is about a human interaction of service. It's about working with your customer to find the best solution for them, and it's also about not attaching to your desired outcome, rather asking them what desired outcome they have and seeing if you are a fit for that. It's so much more ethical, so much more sustainable, and it's so much more transformative as well, which is something that I teach as well, transformative selling. Because unfortunately, so many of people's experiences with sales is so terrible and uncomfortable that we have this judgment of it that it has to be sleazy and icky. But in reality, sales is actually such a beautiful thing. And when you work with me, I help you to fall in love with the act of selling and to actually be excited to do it. So it's a huge shift. It took me years to go through and a lot of learning and a lot of hard sales calls, but I eventually learned and I understood the values that I want to uphold in selling. And now I teach my students who align to the same values in selling the same thing. So another thing is your scalability. When you are not building from this balanced awareness of tangibles and intangibles in business, your ability to scale gets stunted. And all scaling really means is being able to grow your impact and income without needing to put the same amount of output. So you can reach more people or generate more income with the same product or the same concept with much less output. Scaling is not something that happens right away in business. It's something that you eventually do once you have a validated offer and a validated funnel. However, if you are wanting to actually bring your business to that place, even though you're not there, it's something to really consider and to factor in whether you are actually doing something with the mentality of scalability or not. Your business cannot possibly scale if you are creating systems or operating your business from systems right now that are absolutely exhaustive. They are potentially draining, like you are dragging your feet to get them done. Or perhaps something like how you delegate money and resources in your business. This is something that I fell victim to for a long time. I would overspend and commit to things like VAs, programs, coaches that I did not have the bandwidth to commit to. And as a result, it would eat up my energy because I would be consistently thinking about money and where I would find it. And then it would affect my selling because then I would get really graspy and salesy and icky because I was desperate on my sales calls. And not only that, I was also finding that I just was not in my creative energy. I was not able to serve or think at a higher level, which my business needed me to, because again, I was spending more than I could actually give. So my way of thinking around hiring VAs and hiring experts in my business was coming from so much lack because I wasn't doing the intangible work. For example, in that circumstance, I wasn't believing that I was capable of writing strong email copy and achieving XYZ things on my list. I believed that the only way I could grow my business was through having a VA. And the reason why I believed that was because all of my tangibles, the business tangibles and rules that I learned, was that I needed to have a team, and growing the team would mean I would grow my income in my business, and that it needed to be costly at first in order for it to be beneficial. It wasn't until I came across a lot of other business owners who were building multiple six-figure empires and were not working with massive teams. I realized that that was optional, that you don't have to have a big team if you don't want to. There is a way that is sustainable and can also be more informed about where you are today in a way that's gonna actually serve your goals and not create so much stress for you. So scaling my income and my impact, I had to really evaluate, was I doing it in a way that was actually mindful to where I am in my business and the bandwidth of my business. The intangible skill that I had to learn was trusting myself. The tangible skill I had to learn was, well, how do I achieve more without having to have multiple people on my team and spending X amount of dollars? And I did eventually problem solve that, and I was able to continuously generate income in my business without needing to do all the fancy things and have the crazy big team, right? Okay, so now we've come to the juicy part. What are business tangibles exactly? And what are business intangibles? So what are your business intangibles? I'm gonna give you 4. So let's just quickly brief over what are these 4 business intangibles and at least give you an idea of what it looks like and how to work on it in your business. So the first thing is your unique positioning. It is so important for you to know your positioning in the marketplace. So you need to know what you offer, who you offer it for, why you do what you do, what makes you different, what makes that specific offer different to whatever other offers are there that are competitors, your niche. So these are all the things that we need to make sure that these are clean. And because a business intangible often comes with some sort of guideline, it's a lot more easier to regulate what a good business tangible is. You can do something like hire a business coach or work with a consultant, get a program that will help you actually build the foundation of your unique positioning. A lot of people will work with branding specialists and experts later down the line when they want to scale their business or reach larger audiences. But I only recommend doing that when you have a validated product. For example, if you have a course that you're just starting to launch, it is likely that you're going to, because you are brand new launching that course, it's very likely that you're going to pivot certain things. You're going to realize who you want to help and who you don't want to help. Your offer is going to start to clean itself up and shape itself. So the more that you kind of stick with that offer and work it through and validate it, the better your product will be, the more positioning it will have, and then you can scale it later. The mistake I see a lot of people making is trying to grow and scale a product that is not validated, and it just creates a lot of confusion. A lot of your ideal audience is not really clearly identified, and so when you're enrolling people to your program or your services, you're finding that it's a mixed bag of people, and you're finding as well that maybe your retention is not so high, or you get a lot of refund requests simply because you've tried to sell a product that isn't really targeted and niched. It's kind of like having a signature. Like McDonald's have had a signature menu for a long time, and they know exactly who it's for, how to market it to them, where to find them, even to the degree of like in what little towns these percentage of their audience exists, and where to push if they want to do a certain campaign with that offer or with that service, right? So it's a very nuanced thing that you actually need to invest time in. And so if you are kind of in the beginning stages of your business journey, then you can look at this business intangible as an opportunity to start with something like these clear decisions about your niche, your ideal client, and then stick with it and validate it for that offering until you are fully decided that that is the thing, that is it, and then you can go to scale it. You also need an irresistible product or an irresistible product suite. Now, kind of going off the previous point, your irresistible product is consistent of all your skills, all your knowledge, and your mission combined. Your irresistible product or your signature product becomes the thing that you become known for. If you try to chop and change and pivot and do a billion things at once, you're not only not going to be able to do all of them well, you're going to stunt your own journey, because there is so much work that goes into building one validated product with a working funnel. Every successful entrepreneur will tell you this. Start with one thing and be known by one thing, and then go and expand. Learn from the actors and the musicians that we know today. The ones who are really versatile and are in like all the movies or are singing all the genres of songs, they actually had to start with one initial genre. They had to start with one signature song that blew them up. And if they had spent all their energy trying to wear all the hats, they wouldn't have had that zoned in audience that then blew them up. This is also why community is so important. And if you have a community that you are intentionally serving, then that community will also simultaneously build itself around you, your brand, your offering, and that's going to be able to position you very well. There are lots of strategies you can adopt for this business intangible, and it could be a content marketing strategy, it could be community building strategy, it could be some sort of series that you do, a brand expression or style that you adopt in your content that's uniquely you. These are kind of the things that you can factor in when creating that community. In relation to the offer itself, the offer becomes irresistible the more that you believe in it. And it's as simple as that. It's a business intangible. I know belief is not really something you can hold or measure, but how it shows up in your tangible is you're consistently offering people this invitation. Like if you knew the best, Italian pasta, right? The best spot in town. Anybody who would ask the question at any dinner party or event, where is the best place to get pasta? You're going to naturally want to talk about this one place. You're going to rave about it. You're going to do the selling for that place simply because you believe in it. And so tangibly, you're going to easily find the words. You're going to consistently show up in the world offering people this product. And it's as simple as that. A lot of people think that growing your business is about all these fancy schmancy techniques. It's really about how consistently you're willing to show up for that offer and to make that offer over and over and over again. And if you really believe in your product and you believe it's the actual solution for people with the problem that you built the product to solve, then you're not going to hesitate to share it. And if you actually need the skills to learn how to articulate it, then that's where I would go and learn copywriting techniques. I would learn how to write more high converting copy or content. I would understand a little bit more about social media or digital marketing if that's where I advertise. So there are things like that that I can also learn. And also with offer building, I could work with a consultant or a coach to actually refine the offer itself to make sure that it's seamless. I would use the data of the people who have come through my programs to refine and make the product the best that it could be. I would use the feedback, I would use the criticism, I would collect information that helps me really understand how to deliver an incredible top tier product, and then build it so that it's absolutely perfect. Like it's just the all-in-one package for my ideal client. Third business intangible is a seamless sales system. And I'm not going to go into this too much because there's a whole series I could do on sales systems, and I will. Don't worry, be patient. But the seamless sales system is essentially having a workflow or an engine for your ideal leads and clients to pass through. The seamless sales system allows you to generate cash flow and demand for your offering without you needing to actually manually push for the sales every single time. Sales systems can be organic, can be automated, can be done in multiple different ways. So business intangible skills or structures that you could build would be establishing funnels or understanding automated emails and building automated sequences, things that you can really allow yourself to convert with faster. Sales systems could also involve your booking systems. I know for me, I didn't have a booking system for so long, and I was spending so many hours like back and forth with people in DMs rather than just like having a booking system. This is nuanced though. I wouldn't recommend a booking system right away. If you're somebody who needs the practice talking to customers, or your business is high ticket, perhaps you need to have that direct touch point before sending people straight to a booking page. So there's a few nuances there. So I would work with a coach or a consultant or something like that to help you figure out like what is the sales system for your specific offer. And keeping in mind, every offer will have a different buying process because your customers will have to go through different mental stages depending on what the product is, depending on what the price point is, and all of these things. So that's where working with a coach, consultant will also help you build the perfect sales engine for your offer. And the best part is once it's built, you don't need to build it again. Lastly, number 4, the flow-based workflow. This is essentially how everything workflow-wise operates in your business in a way that supports your flow. Flow can be referred to as your energy, your creativity, inspiration, whatever it is that you want. But when your business intangible of flow-based workflows is well built, what it usually looks like is all of your business, everything in your business wheel is well crafted and intentional. So you have made sure that every activity that falls in your business wheel is actually being met. And not only that, it's being met in a way that optimizes your best creativity and energy. So what is a business wheel exactly? It consists of 5 main categories, and the business wheel is essentially the 5 sectors that your business runs on in order to continue to be a thriving business. So that is your offer or your product suite, your marketing strategies or systems, your sales and cash flow systems, your deliverables, so how you deliver your offerings and the platforms you use for that, and then your back of house admin systems, so things that you use to just operate like the logistics of your business. So all of these have tangibles and intangibles. I use the business wheel as a framework to extract what are the activities, key activities in each sector of your business wheel, and help you really put your business in a box, kind of like if somebody were to buy your business, they would have everything they need to know, every single activity, how it's done, all of that. And I work with my clients to really extract that so they know what happens in their business. And while it is tedious work at first, again, when you actually understand how your business operates, you can very easily diagnose when things aren't working, and when they are working, what to do more of and what to do less of. And it's just about like switching the gears. And soon enough, your business is just able to feel so much more supportive of you, rather than, which is what I see all the time, a lot of entrepreneurs are like, I don't know why things are happening, why we're creating these results, and how to fix it. You kind of feel stuck because you just don't know what's running and operating your business or creating the results that you're currently creating. So infusing that business wheel with flow and understanding things like your flow triggers, what environments support your flow, what services are best suited for you, your mission, your style, how to deliver the service, your ethics, your standard operating procedures. These are things that you can work with a consultant or a coach on to really help you custom curate your business in a box/business wheel. And that's going to help you really carve out a strong foundation for your business intangible. So those are the 4 business tangibles and hopefully that helps you understand the foundations of business tangibles. I forgot to mention the business wheel is an entire concept inside of Business Without Hustle, my program, and I actually dive into the 5 elements of the business wheel in a training called Business Without Hustle that you can sign up for today. It is not the program itself, it is a free training where you get a taste of what Business Without Hustle looks like, and I'm also going to break down those 5 elements in the business wheel so you can really understand the underpinnings of a working, sustainable, hustle-free business. So I'm going to explain more about that and teach on that exact business wheel. So if you want to know more about that concept, then sign up for the training. So what are your business intangibles? There are 5. Number 1, secure self-concept and identity. Number 2, the ability to self-regulate and think high-quality thoughts. Number 3, a value-centered vision for your business and lifestyle. Number 4, freedom-based goals. And number 5, the ability to manage your energy and your focus. So the intangible category of your business is really all about the inner world and the entrepreneur behind the business. So the first one of self-concept and identity is a lot to do with how hard you hustle and how much scarcity versus sufficiency you have. So many entrepreneurs are building their business from a place of insufficiency and lack and wanting to create results in order to validate or prove something. It's an egoic desire to change their circumstances so that they can somehow attempt to feel more confident, more competent, and more deserving in life. And unfortunately, when you don't do the self-concept and identity work of unhustling, you are essentially always going to feel unfulfilled, and you're always going to be taking hustly, overworking, burnout inducing actions. So that's why we need to do that identity work, which often means we have to look into your process of creation or your reality creation process, which consists of your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, because these 4 in sequence create your reality or your result. When I work with my clients on their identity and self-concept in the business intangibles, I always make sure to do a hustle audit, and this is a audit that allows me to understand how much scarcity and insufficiency and unworthiness may be underpinning their desires and their processes and work ethic in business, and that gives us a clue as to how to pivot, shift, realign certain things in their business so that it actually is not so hustly yet still creates results for them. If you're interested in doing this quiz yourself, you can actually do it right now. It's a free quiz and I will link it in the description as well below. The second category of the ability to self-regulate and to think high-quality thoughts is about learning to stand outside of yourself and the human body's experience and to not get lost in the experience. This is a skill that I feel like has saved me time and time again in my business, especially because I had a tendency to really catastrophize everything. So when I didn't close a sale or when a deal didn't go down, I feel like I would just make it mean things about me. And I, out of my inability to process my thoughts, would believe the thoughts, the spiral of doubt and self-pity that my thoughts would offer me. So in order for me to move out of that place of self-pity and continue to show up for my business and still consistently add value to the world without getting stopped by my emotions, I needed to learn that skill. And that's an intangible that I feel like will save so many of you if you just take that one thing home from this video today. Number 3 is a valued-centered vision for your life and your business. One of my core beliefs in my programs is in the way that I run my programs is that business, it's not a work-life balance, or it's not about life and then business. It's your life and business is a part of it. Because when you live life in a way where life is separate to business, it becomes this push and pull. And you can't separate your labels or your judgments of what's productive and not productive. You begin to use things against yourself and tell yourself that you're not doing things for your business, when in reality, anything you do could be productive for your business. And this is where a lot of my clients who are extremely high functioning and hustly will find themselves struggling to rest, struggling to give themselves pleasure and to enjoy life and relax, even when they need it, because they label that as unproductive. But in flow, and when we talk about a hustle-free business, what we're really doing is we're shifting that narrative. We're learning to look at everyday activities, including restfulness, including enjoyment, including pleasure, as a productive business activity, because it's in those moments that flow state is triggered and you're actually able to access your creative brain. You're able to access high quality thinking that produces results faster than you could possibly if you were sitting there trying to hustle and grind it out. So I use flow science to explain a lot of how to actually flow hack, especially when you're wanting to create big things, big money in your business. And I help you to make that reframe so that you can learn that productivity is not just about doing XYZ tasks, because there's no right or wrong activity. Every and any activity can grow your business if you let it. And the most important part is that it is aligned to your values, because at the end of the day, because your business falls under your life, you want to build your business to support what you value in this life. A lot of people are building a business that they don't even know why. They think the goal is to create massive wealth. And for what? To have a billionaire's house and estate. But maybe if they really stop to think about it, maybe that's not even what they want. Maybe what they want is to live in a farm with a tiny house and to own nothing and to contribute that money to causes that they believe in and not be in the constant pursuit of working. Maybe a part of you feels really okay with that and you've just not given yourself the permission or the acknowledgement that that's something that you want, because we are fed this image of success and this picture of a certain lifestyle. But the reality is there are many billionaires who are total yogis who own nothing and their money doesn't stay with them, it actually goes back out. And that could be your billionaire lifestyle, right? So think about the lifestyle and the values that you are building your business for, and always inform your business decisions, your workflow and everything like that from that values-based place, because otherwise it's just going to exhaust you to build. In the same way that, like, if you're still operating in adulthood with the values that your parents had for you versus your own values, you're consistently going to feel like you're living your life for them rather than for yourself. It's as simple as that. The fourth one is freedom-based goals. Very self-explanatory. Your goals are based on your definition of freedom, which when I work with my clients, I always make sure that they define for themselves what freedom means. And it can also be different seasonally. So if I get you to define freedom today, what does freedom look like for you? If you're building your business to create that image, maybe it's living in a farm, or maybe it's being able to have the option to travel when you want to. Maybe freedom looks like not having financial debt or even any assets to your name. Everybody's version of freedom looks so different. What is your freedom-based goal? And let's work towards that. What does your freedom-based business look like? Because maybe right now you're doing 100% touch point with all your clients, but maybe your freedom-based business looks like completely being offline and low touch with your clients and still being able to service them. Number 5, managing your energy and your focus. This is a lot more to do with flow state and flow mastery. So really understanding how energy moves in your body, how your specific energetic blueprint works through modalities like human design, and also understanding how to manage energy through flow science by understanding how the mind works and what produces that optimal state of focus and flow. When you understand this and you understand your own flow cycle, you can then use it to anchor and hack the way that you do certain things so that you can produce high quality thoughts and ideas in very little time. I teach my clients to do this specifically for things like content, sales materials, coaching clients, getting into the zone if they're overcoming like nerves. These are kind of the things that this intangible skill really helps you with. And it's as simple as learning flow science, and that's something I teach as well. If you want a crash course on flow science, I have a training called Flow Cycle, and I help you actually understand the 4 stages of the flow process. Flow is actually the 3rd of the 4 stages, and in order to access flow state, you need to actually go through that cycle. And if you want consistent and more flow in your life, you need to learn how to re-enter that cycle. I'm going to teach you that in that free workshop, so you can sign up for that too. Totally no strings attached. If you're interested in flow science and flow hacking, that's going to be helpful for you. Check it out as well in the description below. So that is the business intangibles and tangibles unpacked. Now you understand what those elements of your business consist of. And now my only encouragement for you is to go and build those tangibles and intangibles. Remember that a sustainable and scalable business has these elements in place. And if at any point your business starts to feel out of alignment, starts to feel overly hustly and exhaustive, it's likely because you have not been working on one end or the other of the business tangible and intangible spectrum. Think of that iceberg often and think about if there are certain results showing up in your business reality, like a lack of clients or unable to close sales or consistently feeling stuck in your creativity with content marketing. These tangibles are likely affected by the intangibles. And for every intangible thing, there is always an underlying intangible root that you can work on. My recommendation is to always work on the intangible fix first before trying to create the structural tangible thing. So for example, if you're consistently getting stuck on handling objections and you're finding yourself overthinking and worried about money and feeling so much scarcity that it's affecting your ability to do a good sales call and you're freaking out and all the things every time there's an objection, don't just work on your sales script or do objection handling drills. Work on that after you've actually worked on the inner sufficiency around money. Perhaps you feel that without money, you're not going to be safe. And that is a lie. That is not true. All of my money mindset work and sales work with my clients always begins with understanding that sales and being able to convert on any sales call or sales page is about understanding that you are secure and safe outside of the money. And it's not unless you create that liberation from the money and that dependence from money is removed that you're actually able to sell in a way that is in service, because then you're not in survival mode. You're not trying to get something for yourself. Rather, you're like, I'm good, I'm here to serve you. And more often than not, you're going to be able to convert very easily with that mentality and with that energy, because desperation and scarcity can be felt. So whole ass video can be done for that, but that is a key example. So I would work on the sales beliefs. I would work on the sufficiency and the identity first, thinking quality thoughts that help me feel secure, consistently feeling the feeling of safety and security outside of money, and then taking actions from that place to build effective sales scripts and develop an effective sales conversion process. And maybe you do have to learn objection handling that is in service of the client rather than objection handling that leverages manipulation. But that is a skill that you can learn and better implement when you do the intangible work first. Other than that, my loves, I hope that this video helped you, and I hope that this inspired you to see your business from a more holistic sense, that it's not just about getting the things done or building the stuff. It's about doing the inner work, because that's what's going to create longevity for you and ultimately the life that you want and the business of your dreams. All right, I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.
If you want to take your abundance to another level, I want to help you. I'm a life and business coach for women who want to step into their next level by activating wealth from the inside out. To help you take your first step to unlocking true abundance and your aligned potential, I'm giving you free resources, workshops, and masterclasses that you can access on demand right now. Check out www.nicoleconception.co/free-resources to get your hands on it. For more videos like this, check out the other playlists and series I have on this channel, and don't forget to hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new video. And if you're more of the podcast type, check out Freedom in Flow, where I dive even deeper into the concepts that will help you create less hustle and more flow, abundance, and alignment in your life and business. Now, if you're a reader, you'll want to subscribe to my email list for unfiltered, honest, and most importantly, applicable life upgrades. Now, don't be a stranger. Connect with me on Instagram and TikTok and send me a message. I love getting to know you and your story. It's why I do this. Okay, my lovely, that's all for now. I'll see you soon. Signing off, Nicole.